アメリカの貧困は現在進行形の深刻な社会課題で、1960年代から解決していない構造的問題でもあります。今もアメリカ人の約 13% の人が明日を生きるためだけに働いています。きらびやかな都市の生活と深刻なサバイバル生活が混在しているアメリカ。今回の動画ではアメリカの貧困に焦点を当てて、アメリカ人の貧困に対する考えを見ていきます。
People really need to wake up and realize that living in poverty is traumatic. The vast majority of the people living in poverty or below the poverty line would probably qualify for a complex PTSD diagnosis. Post-traumatic stress disorder. The stress of eating one meal a day. The stress of having to decide between food or rent. The stress of being homeless. The constant, chronic, never-ending stress of I can't afford food, I can't afford to live, I can't be happy. Money does buy fucking happiness. Oh, money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah, it fucking does. Okay? You try living on $1,169 a fucking month. I dare you. Try. You know? All these rich people getting rich off of crypto and NFTs and all this bullshit while poor people starve to death? No. Well, you could get into crypto too. I don't want to. It's a fucking bullshit fucking Ponzi scheme. I don't understand it. Like, why can we create thousands of different cryptocurrencies that are fucking worthless, but we can't eliminate poverty? It's not that we can't eliminate poverty. We could. We just don't want to, because, well, poor people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and get a job and, you know, work like I did. It's not that easy nowadays, you know? Like, all these baby boomers, you know, blaming millennials for ruining shit. You guys fucking ruined everything. You know, like, you guys jacked the price of everything up and, you know, wanted more big expensive homes and all this, and, like, it's absolutely fucking absurd that we can't eliminate poverty. We could, we can. For the first time in human history, we have the technology to eliminate poverty. Like, we abolished slavery. We can abolish poverty now, guys. Like, it's absolutely absurd that we're still accepting that poverty is still, like, we're all gonna die soon. Climate change is destroying the fucking planet, so just give people free money so they can enjoy whatever's left of their fucking lives. Oh, I need to get a job. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Be grateful that you can work. The vast majority of people that are living in poverty, a lot of them actually do work multiple jobs, but they can't keep up with the rising cost of living. Oh, we'll move somewhere different. Away from their friends, their family, their entire support network, their doctors, everything they know. They can't afford to fucking move. Why are we not, like, rent should be more affordable. Food should be more affordable. Food should be fucking free, to be honest. We need it to survive. Like, we should, like, our rights are being stripped away every fucking day. And we're just like, oh, more money for the military, more money for corporations, more money for the politicians, but no money for poor disabled people. Like, it's an absolute crime against humanity at this point to allow poverty to continue. Deliberate act causing suffering and death on a large scale, people.
Just finished this book by President Jimmy Carter called Our Endangered Values. He wrote it about 20 years ago. It's a good book. And toward the end of the book, he talks about poverty. And he mentions tax cuts that happened about 20 years ago that gave the wealthiest people in this country, the 400 wealthiest people, a 10% increase, while we saw 3.5 million people enter into poverty as a result. And I couldn't help but think of how we in this country just passed a bill not too long ago, where there is the largest transfer of wealth in U.S. history besides slavery, from the poorest people to the wealthiest people. And that is absolutely unacceptable. This is an ages-old tactic of taking from the poor to give to the wealthy, and it is absolutely something that we continue to perpetuate through public policy. As the wealthiest nation on earth, it is not right, it is not okay, and we have to demand more from our elected officials, from society, every sector of society. People need help. They need health care. They need economic justice. We haven't raised the federal minimum wage since 2009. Cost of goods and services have gone up. Minimum wage has not. That is not okay. And I want to say this clearly, because people are people. I don't care who you are. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily that being wealthy is bad, but it is necessary that if you are wealthy, you do have a responsibility to care for others. And there is no ethical, moral principle that justifies taking from poor people to make wealthier people even wealthier. I think that that is just not right, not just, period. It's nothing personal against anyone. It's just not morally right.
People love to say that being poor is about bad choices, but the reality is simpler and more cruel. Being poor costs more. That's called the poverty penalty. Here are 3 ways it shows up that folks rarely talk about. Number 1, time is a poverty penalty. If you're poor, everything takes longer. Lower income workers are far more likely to rely on public transportation, have longer, more unpredictable commutes, and spend more time navigating paperwork for healthcare, housing, and assistance. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, workers in the lowest income brackets spend significantly more time commuting and waiting for services than higher income workers. Unpaid time that eats directly into wages. And the Urban Institute has shown that low-income households spend dozens of extra hours per year dealing with administrative barriers just to access basic services. Time is money, and poor people are charged extra for both. Number 2, healthcare is a poverty penalty. This one kills people. Low-income Americans are more likely to delay medical care due to cost, skip prescriptions, and use emergency rooms instead of preventative care. The CDC estimates that nearly 1 in 3 adults delay or forego medical care because of cost, and the rate is much higher for low-income workers. And here's the kicker. Preventable hospitalizations cost the U.S. over $30 billion per year, according to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. Cost driven overwhelmingly by delayed care. You're not irresponsible, you're trapped between missing work today or collapsing later. Moving on to number 3, fees are a poverty penalty. Late fees, court fees, application fees, reinstatement fees. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, low-income households pay a disproportionate share of punitive fees, including overdraft fees, late payment penalties, and administrative charges. The CFPB found that frequent overdrafters, mostly low-income households, can pay hundreds of dollars per year just in fees, not interest. One missed deadline doesn't just cost money, it triggers a cascade. Now I'm going to throw in a housing bonus because this is the stupidest logic of it all. So, even when poor Americans manage to buy a home, they get hit with private mortgage insurance, or PMI. If you don't have a 20% down payment, they charge you a monthly insurance until you hit that 20% threshold. According to Freddie Mac, PMI costs 5.5 to 1.5% of the loan annually. That's tens of thousands of dollars over the life of a mortgage for the same house. Same neighborhood, same roof, higher price, because you started with less. Banks don't think you can afford a $1,700 payment, so they make it $2,000 instead. This basically shifts the bank's risk to other low-income borrowers. That's the poverty penalty. It's not about coffee, it's not about budgeting apps, it's certainly not about effort. It's an economy that charges you more for having less and then blames you for falling behind. Lee Calvin with Rough Cut Media Network.